Today, we're stepping inside Yellow City Custom Tees to meet the owner, Ashton. We're going beyond the t-shirts to learn the story, passion, and purpose behind the business. From serving customers to building relationships in our community. Let's hear what inspires Ashton and what makes Yellow City Custom Tees more than just a print shop. Ashton, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Absolutely.
Hey, I have a question for you. You're an owner of a local business,
Yes.
Yellow City Custom Tees,
Absolutely.
and it is blossoming.
It is.
Tell me first, what was your passion to get started in the printing industry?
Well, I've always really liked creating things and printing things, and not just printing, but making bracelets with my daughter and
Yes.
just anything craft related. I've always really enjoyed. I think one of the things that really like sparked my interest in it is putting something on another piece of something and then seeing someone's face light up when they got it. But you know, when I first started this business, it wasn't a printing company at all. It was actually a boutique.
Okay.
And so during the whole process of opening up a boutique, I was putting on vendor shows. And one vendor show, which was Blooms and Bargains back in 2022, I had rented out the Sunset Center, the old Sunset Center Plaza.
Uh-huh.
And it took off. I mean, it completely sold out. Every single vendor spot was completely filled. And I met a gentleman there who was selling a printer called a DTG printer.
Right.
And I had never heard of DTG. I had heard of DTF, but never DTG. And so I researched that. And I realized that DTG was direct to garment, which is basically like screen printing, except you're not limited to any colors. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is huge for our community because, you know, people like to have, especially sports teams and schools and things like that, they like to have screen printing done
Yes.
for any shirts of that nature, but a lot of them want a full colored image.
Right.
Well, if you want a full colored image through screen print, that's almost impossible because usually you're limited to 4 to 6 colors, and it gets really expensive when you add colors.
Right.
So being able to print any color of the rainbow on one piece of garment for an individual is a massive service that is much needed in the area. In fact, I don't know that there's any other DTG printers here in Amarillo.
Right.
So I quickly saw the need for it in Amarillo, and that's how Yellow City Boutique turned into Yellow City Custom Tees.
I love that.
And we've grown ever since.
And you're branching out.
We're branching out, and we had blank apparel. I want to tell you, with this printer, it came with, when I purchased the printer, it came with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of garments. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have this huge yard type sale to get rid of some of these garments because I was drowning in blank apparel and I had nowhere to put it.
Right.
So I had a sale, and I mean, people out of the woodworks came to this sale.
Love it.
And they asked, are you going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, there's money to be made in this as well. So I quickly partnered with Gildan Direct and
Yes.
Bella Canvas and all of them, and we launched Blank Apparel.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so what all does Yellow City do? What all can you do?
Everything. We can absolutely do everything. No, but seriously, we can do promotional items. Promotional items can include coasters and cups and tumblers, and we can even do temporary tattoos. We can do koozies. Basically any surface that you can think of, we can place an image on. We do direct to garment. We just launched direct to film. So
Yes.
we now have a DTF printer. In the future, I look to have other services like doing custom cutting boards for like weddings and stuff. And so
Yes.
I'm always looking to add things, but currently our services are a wide range of different things that we can do. And typically, if you call and ask, hey, can you do this for me? We're probably going to say yes.
I love that. And I love the feel, as you guys know, I work here too, but I love the feel of that mom and pop store
Yes.
feel that you have, because I watch you with customers. I watch you with different organizations, and you really pour your heart
I
into
really
it.
do.
And that's what it's about. And I think that's the difference, is that we are building those relationships.
Yes.
What is like one project that you can think of you worked on that really touched your heart?
Oh my gosh. Well,
I know there's so many.
I'm probably gonna cry, but
Oh,
one when I knew that I was in the right business and starting was I was working one day, and it was late in the afternoon, and there was a young girl here in Amarillo. She was, I think, just in high school. She had passed away, and she had I'm pretty sure that she was killed.
oh my God.
And so I don't know the story. I don't know the family. I didn't know her personally, so I don't know all the details.
Right, of course.
But this girl that she went to school with came into the store, and she said, I need a shirt made for this girl's memorial service, and I can't find anybody that can do it in time, and I need it like today.
Right.
And so because we did direct to garment, I was able to pop that shirt out in about 2 hours.
Wow.
And so she could not thank me enough. She was just so happy that we were able to do it. And that has always stuck with me. That customer may not remember me or even think about it, but that is one project that stuck with me since it happened. And I'm pretty sure that it will always stick with me.
Well, of course. And I think that that's so important, because that's when you're doing your job, and it's more than a shirt.
Yes.
It's more than a product. It's you are helping someone in a difficult transition of their life, or in an exciting transition of or of a business blooming.
Mhm.
What do you think as an owner? I know that there's obstacles too, because nothing's perfect, but I also know you overcome them. Just like, what is something that maybe there was a time that something happened, but it was able to resolve or turn itself around? Is there something you can think of?
We're not. I think one of the things, and one of the hardest things, is getting people to understand that we're a brand new business.
Yes.
I know I've been making shirts for a very long time, but we are a brand new business, and we are trying. I did not realize that by opening up a store like this, it was going to take off as quick as it did.
Right.
And I am not perfect.
Of course not.
And I am learning every single day. And so I try my best, and I give my best, and I put my all into everything. But I think one of the hardest things to overcome is to get the customer to understand that we're not superheroes. We can't sometimes match their demands that they're wanting, especially with how many orders we have coming in right now. And so we try our best. We really are going to give it a shot.
Absolutely.
But
and 9 times out of 10,
we make it happen somehow.
Because he is also a graphic designer,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah. So I think it's just really, and a lot of customers do understand, don't get me wrong, but some get upset with us, and I understand where they're coming from. I truly do. I'm only one person. I'm only human,
Right.
and I can only do what I can do. And so I think that is probably one of the biggest struggles or hurdles that we overcome or that we face. And I think part of that, though, is myself. I need to learn to say no, or, I can't match that deadline, or, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But it's basically because I want to tell everyone, yes, I want to help everyone. I want to, and on top of that, I try to make it affordable
Right.
for our customers.
And a majority, I will say, you're talking about the 1 or 2%.
Yeah.
Let me just put that out there, that 98%, 99% goes with, that's infallible, absolutely.
Yes,
So just to put that out there.
Yeah. The majority of our customers are very happy. They're very pleased. They love their projects.
Yes.
There's just sometimes when we run into, customers that aren't happy with the deadline that we,
Right.
and that, again, I understand.
And one thing too, I think, Ashton, that people don't always think about when you haven't been printing yourself at home or what have you, is that it's not just a magic pill.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like even with the people I talk to, they might not have the image already drawn, and that's where you come in and you spend quality time with someone at your desk and you're drawing that graphic.
Yes.
And then you transfer it into the machine where you can do the DTF, where you can do the DTG, and then placement. So it is a process, and even just curing alone, right?
Yes.
Takes 2 days.
Yeah.
So,
converting an image in itself is a project. I think a lot of people who don't understand the behind the scenes of a print shop don't get everything that goes into making one shirt.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that we probably want to do different here, is educating the community of what the behind the scenes actually looks like in a shirt shop.
Yeah, because I think once people see the process, they understand more that it does take time, because we're not just going to do it quick to get it out the door. We're going to do quality work.
Absolutely.
Because we want it done right. And,
Yes.
They're investing time with us, and we are promoting their brand.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do that right. That's something that, that we're all on the same page with.
Absolutely.
So you are an owner, and you've been an owner for some time, and I know you've done other things, prior to this. If you are talking to somebody there listening today and they say, I want to start a print shop, or I want to start my own business, what word of encouragement would you give them, or something that they could take with?
I would say that through all of the mistakes that I have made and all of the learning curves that I have gone through here, but just by owning this shop, do your research. I think that is probably one of the biggest tips that I could give. You want to understand, especially if you're not just doing a print shop, you're wanting to do the blank apparel side of things, or you're wanting to add certain services to your print shop. I think that doing your research and understanding what is the best machine, and sometimes it's not just the machine, sometimes it's the inks. You need to understand what inks to use. When we're talking direct to garment, you need to understand that on a darker garment, you've got to use white ink. On a lighter garment, you don't have to use white ink. And there's so many different things that can go wrong if you don't understand how a piece of garment matches the image that you're placing on that garment.
Yes.
And so, just for instance, when a customer walks in and says, well, I want this image on this color and I want it to be direct to garment. Well, that might not go together. So
Right.
we have to take another route Now, if you're doing film, then it doesn't matter. You can place that on anything.
Sure,
right?
Of course.
But if you're wanting the fancy stuff like direct to garment, that's something that you really have to educate yourself on and understand how colors work.
Right, because if you have a certain emblem and, it's going to go on a shirt, you want to make sure it pops.
Absolutely.
And it wants to be seen.
Yes.
And that's where you help people in the design part.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
I think research, that is my biggest word, and something that I wish I would have done, before starting. I can't tell you how many shirts I wasted in the very beginning because I simply didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
But that's also how we learn, is by making all of the mistakes.
Well, because any business, everybody started at day one.
Yes.
And I think we need to remember that.
Yes.
And that's where I love here in Amarillo. I don't feel like the local businesses are competing with themselves.
Right.
I feel like we're in it together. And I think if people remember that, that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
what it's all about.
And Amarillo, I feel, is a great place to have a business.
Absolutely.
I really, really do. I think everyone gets along.
They do.
I think that we help each other.
That's exactly it.
I can't tell you how many times I've needed emergency backup because a printer was down or we were out of ink and we were trying to hit a deadline on an order. And I, had Hot Mess Express to the rescue.
Yes.
Or I had
Burn
Sylvia
Studio.
out of Canyon, or
Burn
Studio and Elevate Signs downtown.
Yes.
So I like to, when we run into emergencies like that, I like to use other local people and pass the business around, and I hope that they talk positive and do the same for us, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I like to support everyone. In fact, because we sell blank apparel, we get a lot of home businesses that come through these doors. And it's almost as if they're scared that they don't want to tell me that they're a shirt printer, and I'm like,
know.
It's okay. I promise, it's fine. That's what we're here for.
That's exactly.
I want to help people get their businesses up and running.
That's right.
I mean, I'm here to help them.
Yes.
And so don't be scared to walk in the door and tell me you're a shirt printer, because I don't care. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And what about your team? Like it doesn't not just one person,
it's
right? There's a team, and teamwork is so important.
Yes.
So kind of what's your thought on that?
Well, my thought is that sometimes you have to wiggle through the hay to find the perfect straw, and so
I love
that's kind of how that's been lately. But I think currently, in the moment that we are in, we have found the perfect team. Mary has been phenomenal out in the field. In fact, I truly
Thank you.
feel that we wouldn't have the orders that we've had today if it wasn't for Mary.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank
you.
you.
So by getting our name out there, that's what it takes. And I knew that something that isn't thought of is having a sales rep. And so if you have a sales rep, that is one of the quickest and easiest ways to get your name out there, because their day-to-day job is to go business to business or door to door and visit with other people, and it's spreading the word about your company. And I knew that would take us to a whole other level.
Absolutely.
And so I think we're on the right track. I really do. And I think that we have the perfect team. I think that we take what we have currently and we make it gold, and then we can move up from there.
That's how growth happens.
Yes.
It's baby steps. It's not overnight. You think about Sam Walton.
Yeah.
When he started, it wasn't the Walmart we know today.
No, it is not.
And it wasn't overnight, and people have to remember that.
Yes, yeah. Rome was definitely not built in a day.
This is correct.
And I sometimes am so impatient, but I feel like I'm learning every day. And I feel like by owning this business, it has turned me into a different person.
And I've learned too, just, being out in the public, people want people to be invested and to understand, walk with them in their journey.
Yes.
That is what it's about.
Yes.
And you know, the core of it, you know, a shirt is a shirt.
Yeah.
But the relationship and the people, there is nothing beyond that to me.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's, you know, why I'm so proud to be a part of Yellow City Custom Teasing. Honestly, he's not paying me to say this. He's one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life. And I can just say, the customer service that you give, like I've seen hiccups happen, and it's not because of a mistake, but a printer goes down or the ink, like you said.
Literally
you know,
out of your control.
And I mentioned it before, like 4th of July was a crazy weekend. We got it all done. For those of you that know, you know. But this man stayed till 2:30 in the morning. I dropped off, you know, at what was it, 10 at night,
10 at
one of
night.
that. And then the next day I did 6 deliveries.
We
And
worked
not because I
together.
had to, but we wanted them to get their product on time.
Yes.
And when you're with us, you're going to get that VIP feel
Yes.
because you're not just a customer. You are a person that we are building that relationship with.
Yes.
And that's just so important.
Yes. Well, and I think that's how you grow.
It is how you grow.
You have to provide that service. You cannot expect to just, you know, do the bare minimum and expect for your business to take off.
Exactly.
And so we will always go the extra mile at Yellow City Custom Tees, and the same goes for my employees. I mean, I want this place as a workplace to feel like you are part of the business, that this is just as much your baby as it is my baby. And so when I am looking for an employee, that's what I want. I want someone that is going to take customer service and pressing a shirt and talking about our products. I want them to treat that just as I would treat it for my own business.
That's
you know
right,
what I mean?
absolutely.
And so I think we have finally narrowed down
Yeah.
to where we finally have that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ashton, it's just been such a delight for you to
Yes.
talk to me. And thank you for kicking off this series of local businesses. I am going to tell you guys that no matter what you're going through, be kind, because you never actually know in this world what anyone's going through. That's my mantra of life. Thank you
I think
again.
we should probably
for
make a shirt with that.
I think we should. I think I know a person that can do it.
I
Just
do too.
saying. Okay. Ashton, thank
And I
you
want to
again.
tell everyone
Yes.
too, if they are watching this video and they come in and mention this podcast,
Okay.
I feel like we should give them 25% off.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
I
do that.
like it. Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
It's been
guys.
great. Have a good day.